Well, what's happening, guys? My name is OTG and I'd like to welcome you to another real life Formula 1 video, and this time we're going to be talking about, is F1 a team sport? Now, it's an interesting one we're going to be talking about today because F1 at the moment is very controversial, and we've obviously had some big things going on in Malaysia recently, and always it's been a big thing, team orders. Ferrari have probably been one of the most crucial teams. Obviously you've had the Schumacher and Barrichello incident on the last lap I cannot remember when, but I remember it was quite it was on the last lap, last straight I think it was. You've also got the incident with Felipe Massa and Alonso, where they said Alonso is faster than you, Fernando, whatever they called him, is faster than you. He went past. And obviously this weekend we had Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel. F1 is definitely a team sport. I mean, you look. I'm going to go on both sides here, so we're going to look on is it and isn't it. F1's a team sport due to the fact that a team has two drivers. They have to have two drivers. The team should go for each drivers fairly, but you know that's not going to be the case. I mean, you take Ferrari for example. Fernando Alonso will get everything he wants before Felipe Massa. Felipe Massa's beating him in the table. That's unfair. He's out-qualified him both times this season. That's unfair. So why is Felipe Massa second driver? Because Fernando Alonso has a better chance of winning them races and winning the title, really. And because Massa hasn't won the World Championship, they're not going to favour him as much. You then go to McLaren Mercedes last year. Lewis Hamilton, Jenson Button both got the same treatment because they both won titles. And then you go to Red Bull, we'll go here again. Webber's never won a title. Vettel has won titles 3 times in a row, actually. So Vettel's going to get the favoured treatment over Webber because Webber's not as title worthy as Sebastian Vettel. Now, if Adrian Newey, obviously he's the designer of the Red Bull car, leaves Red Bull due to these incidents, Red Bull are going to be in such a bad way because Newey is probably by far the only reason Red Bull are in this situation at the moment. They need him to design a car that Vettel can drive, because Vettel without that car is nothing. When you think about it, drivers are nothing without them cars. Heikki Kovalainen, if you take him for example last year, that Caterham wasn't up to his standards. He had pace, but it wasn't up to his standards. You stick him in a Ferrari, he can go off and win races. You take Sergio Perez in a Sauber, he was alright in the McLaren. He was alright in the Sauber. Put him in the McLaren, he's struggling. Well, why is that? Because he doesn't have the same sort of pace. That is why McLaren are now going to favour Jenson Button, because he's faster. Perez is more of a upbringing driver, but that's not really the thing. The team's really what they need to have is one main driver. If they're going to have two drivers, one's which over-treated, you have one main driver and one academy driver, I would say. A bit like, how would I explain it? A bit like, should we say Force India? Kind of Force India. In fact, Lotus would be a good one, actually. Kimi Raikkonen, experienced world champion, can go out there, win races. We saw that in Australia. We've seen that in I think it was Abu Dhabi. He went out and won. Romain Grosjean, second season in the sport, coming up, looking like a bright prospect if he can do it. So if they're going to do this so it's favoured, have Raikkonen, the title contender, Grosjean, future star, not have Fernando Alonso, world champion, Felipe Massa, possible constant point scorer now, and also going out for the top rank now, looking for the wins. But instead, he's just sitting there. As we saw last year, he's slipping down and down the table, but now he stepped it up. Ferrari got something to look at. And you also take Red Bull, for example, Sebastian Vettel, switching around there. You got Sebastian Vettel, big time player. Mark Webber, good driver, but you saw that in Malaysia, he just got shunted to the side. If they would have made the more prominent move, Red Bull, saying, Sebastian, if you do not get behind Mark Webber, there will be serious consequences, then things might have been different. But you can't really have a moan at the team. It's happened. It's in the past. Get on with it. But it's quite annoying for some people because these drivers are all completely amazing. You saw someone like Jules Bianchi. He finished 13th. Oh, I know there was like Jenson Button, Alonso, all them like they were kicked out of the race, retired, and but Bianchi is doing great, and he's very fast. He's getting the pace, and you saw he was very close to the Williams of Bottas, and I think it was Toro. I can't remember who the other driver was, but you could see that they have the pace. And these teams have now got to start bringing their drivers through, looking for the future, because drivers like Bianchi and De Resta, they're all going to get snapped up. They're going to get taken up. Nico Hulkenberg, he'll be at McLaren sooner or later. So you can see all these drivers coming through. So I really do think that Red Bull, they needed to show punishment because he's disrespecting their team. Now, I know it sounds a bit weird of what the things I'm coming out with, and obviously it might sound like a big bundle, but my main point is these drivers need to show respect to their teams, and if Sebastian Vettel isn't going to obey the rules, kick him out, have someone else. Buemi's in the sidelines. Buemi will quite easily go in there and take the drive, show what he's worth. And Buemi, no offense to Buemi, he's not the fastest compared to Vettel, but Vettel needs a punishment. He doesn't deserve to be able to just go, oh, better than this guy, better than him. No, and Mark Webber was robbed, and that's the end of the story. If all the teams need to be like Mercedes, really. I mean, yeah, Hamilton's going to be favoured, but you've got two drivers that are equal playing field. Now, people are going to say, oh, well, Hamilton, blah, blah, Hamilton's got a contract. No, it was a team decision. It was a strategy. Rosberg, great driver, love the guy. Hamilton, great driver. Realistically, Hamilton finishing in front of Rosberg will give Hamilton a better chance at the title. But you'll see, if we just say like in China, Rosberg, Hamilton, and they're 1-2, or say if they're battling for 10th, they'll go past him. But because it was such crucial points for Mercedes, they needed to do this. Now, I hope I haven't gone on and I've made this a bit boring, but guys, what do you think? Team orders, is F1 a team sport? I don't know. I personally think it's starting to go to the road of there's one driver, but I will hopefully be seeing the improvement. But it's only 2 races in, and we can't be assuming too much, because if you're going to look at the main drivers, I would say Ferrari, Lotus, Red Bull and McLaren have got main drivers. Mercedes have got 2 drivers. Rest of the teams, 2 drivers. You see that in Force India. Sutil, Paul Di Resta, equally treated. Just because they have mistakes, they're just good. They're great drivers, them two. And guys, so what do you think? Team orders, teams in general, what should it be? Should it be a main driver rookie or 2 competitive, or everyone should just be on an equal playing field? Surely that'd be the easiest way, guys. My name is OTG. I'll see you guys in wherever my next video is. Bye, guys.